Hello and welcome back to Meditating with me, Sona. Today we're going to continue this series of loving kindness or kindly awareness meditations that we've been doing. We've done 2 so far. Today we're going to move on to what we call the neutral person, developing loving kindness towards someone we don't have any strong feelings with. If you've missed the first 2 sessions, the session on developing kindness towards self and towards a friend, second section, don't worry, you can just continue with the neutral person, although usually we find it a little bit easier to do it sequentially. The neutral person is not always easy because it's a kind of person we don't have really any strong emotional connection with. Emotional connections can be either ones of liking, being attracted to, or they could be aversive. We may find some people difficult, we're trying to push them away. But in both cases we find we have emotional connections, whether they're positive or negative emotions. The neutral person is someone we may see every day, someone we could just easily bring to mind, but we haven't really thought whether we like them or not. We don't have any real feelings to them. And when we think about it, we're surrounded by neutral people. Most people around us are sometimes a bit like objects that are just moving around, but we don't have any strong connection with them on an emotional level. The world currently has a population of something like 7 billion people. We're just surrounded by many, many neutral people. So it's quite a task being able to develop kindness towards such people. So why do we develop kindness towards neutral people? Well, mainly because we're always meeting them, and it is a way of expanding our sense of self, taking in other people more fully. It's not that we have to like everyone, but if we could treat people less as objects and more as human beings, both ourselves and other people we interact with will benefit enormously. Okay, so let's start today's meditation. So we can begin by becoming aware of our body and finding that position that you use for meditation, whether it's lying down or sitting up. If you're lying down, just allowing yourself to completely let go whilst trying to stay awake, aware. If you're feeling very tired, you might like to keep your eyes open a little bit, let some light in. And if you're sitting up, it's easier to be more aware when you're sitting up, but a little bit more difficult to let go. If you align your body a little more, you find the muscles are not working so hard and the skeletal frame is carrying most of the weight. So we're looking for a sense of balance. So just take a few moments to let go into the posture, find the balance, and then bringing awareness to our breathing. Just anchoring ourselves in the body, in the present moment, and we're just breathing. Okay, we're not going to spend too long deciding who we're going to meditate on, who we're going to use as this neutral person in the meditation. So as quickly as we can, we bring someone to mind. It really doesn't matter who it is. Just someone we've seen, someone at work who we pass by, someone in a shop, or even the postie, the postman, the mailman, and we just bring to mind this person. We bring to mind that this person is actually a human being, very like ourselves. The breathing, they have their ups and downs, and they have their happy times. So we try to hold them in our mind's eye, or have a sense of their presence, an awareness of them. And we could just breathe with them. I always find this a good way to come into contact with others. Just imagining you're breathing with this person is a kind of sympathy between you. Breathing in and breathing out. And then just like we experience in life, this neutral person has their difficulties, disappointments, may be confronted with pain, loss, grief, disappointment. that life may be hard sometimes, just as our lives are hard from time to time. And we can just wish them well. We could think of them being happy, smiling, cheerful, feeling content, satisfied with their life. Or we may just say mantra like, may you be happy, may you be well, may you be successful in life. And we can repeat this over and over again if we find that helpful. So just finding your way into connect with, to be aware of this other person as someone who suffers, the breathing, and we can wish them well, joy, happiness. Now we can just bring to mind that they also have their happy moments. So we can imagine them, perhaps see them in our mind's eye, sense their presence, as be feeling quite joyful, positive, content. Or again, we just may continue to wish them joy, happiness, success. You can even, if it works for you, imagine yourself beaming out a beam of kindness that touches them, bringing joy, connecting with them. And every so often we could just come back to ourselves, to our own breathing, to our body, sensations in the body, and then just bringing this neutral person, as we call them, back to mind. Continuing to wish them well, sending them a kind of message of joy, happiness. So there are different ways of doing this, and you may need to experiment a little bit to see what works for you. And just breathe with them, if nothing else. Be aware of them. It seems that all human beings have a desire to connect with others. Perhaps it's not possible to connect with everyone, but just as we sit here meditating with this person in mind, we can imagine we're forming perhaps just a small connection with them. Okay, and now we're going to bring the meditation to a close. And of course, if you decided to meditate longer, just continue thinking of this other person. And the rest of us can come back to our body, be aware of any sensations in the body. If we have our eyes closed, open our eyes and just perhaps ask ourselves, what happened? Just quite objectively, what happened in the meditation? And in the days to come, just see if it's made any difference when you go into shops or meet people in the street, your interaction with strangers, if you're a little bit more aware of them than you have been in the past. So I wish you a very good day and evening, and look forward to meditating with you again tomorrow.